TunePocket.com. TunePocket.com.
Welcome to the Sean Farrell podcast. I am Sean Farrell. God is great all the time. All the time, God is great. And let's not waste no time. Let's get right to it. So, I've often talked about depression, suicide prevention, anxiety, whatnot. I was just thinking about this the other day. Depression is thick, it's cold, it's dark, and it absolutely shows no mercy to anybody. Man, woman, child, teenager, shows absolutely no mercy. And it does not discriminate. There was a time yesterday where I was just so down. You're just so depressed that you just feel a thickness hanging on to you. There's a thickness that you feel that is just really hanging on to you, and it just won't leave you alone. And for some people, they reach out to other people. They do some things to help them feel better, or sometimes, like me, I just sometimes I don't call anybody or let anybody know that, hey, I'm feeling this way. I just sometimes I just let it run its course. I just let it run its course, and then hopefully wake up and feel better. It's just so unmerciful. So unmerciful just the way it makes you feel. So unmerciful the way it makes you feel. Just so unmerciful the way it makes you feel. And sometimes it can just strike out of nowhere. It can just strike out of nowhere, and you have absolutely zero explanation as to what had happened. Take yesterday, for instance. I say yesterday because it is past 12. But take yesterday, for instance. Depression was just so thick, so unmerciful, that I just wanted to sit with that feeling, and let it run its course. That's sometimes what I do. Just sit with it and let it run its course. Let it run out. I am feeling better. Now that it has run its course. And you just feel pain. And you just feel pain, and you don't know where it came from. You really don't know where it came from. On top of this depression, you're feeling pain, and you can't explain why. You can't explain why you're feeling pain. Some days you can't explain it because it's just random. Yesterday was just one of those random days. And I remember there was a lady who asked me this. We were talking, and she asked me one of the most difficult, hardest, honest questions that she has asked me, because we were talking with each other. We were talking about depression, and she asked me a question. She said, well, let me ask you this. She said, would having a woman by your side, would that help with depression? Would that help with your would that help alleviate some of the depression you're feeling? And I thought about that for several seconds, and I said, yes, it would help. It would help. But we all know that the help, comes from the one above, Jesus. But that would help. So I said yes, that would alleviate some of the burden, some of the depressive stress that I feel. Somebody asked me, hey, what are you doing for Christmas this year? Don't know. I don't know. They asked me that, and I seriously don't know. I really don't know. And when I'm asked that question, depression just kind of rises up in me. It just kind of rises up in me, because I know that I'm probably not going to be doing anything again this year. Probably know that I'm not going to be doing nothing again this year. That's a sad way to look at it, but that's just the truth. That's just the truth, and probably won't be doing nothing this year as well. As I mentioned in my last video, likely won't be doing nothing this year. And so, it's just a very interesting time around this time of year for me. It's a very interesting time around this year for me. Yeah. Welcome back. And so I want to pick back up where I left off. I was talking about when you're depressed, you can't, some days you can't find, it strikes out of nowhere, it's random, can't really say what. Sometimes you just sit there and just say, why? 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 Why am I feeling like this? Why am I feeling like this? Why am I feeling so down? Why am I feeling so dark? Why am I feeling... Why? And you sit there with yourself for hours just contemplating. Just sitting there thinking to yourself, why? Why? And you sit there in the dark. And you just can't come up with a really good answer. You can't come up with a really good answer. You can't come up with a really good answer. You just can't. And so, but you can't come up with a good answer. You just got to sit there. Well, I'm just speaking for myself. Sometimes when I can't come up with an answer, I just got to sit there. And like I said, let it run its course. Let this depressive energy run its course. And then once this depressive energy runs its course, it runs its course. And I will never forget one of my counselors, a counselor that I used to see, said this to me. He said, it sounds like that you have been lifelong depressed, which I probably have, especially since I can't get hit away from it. So, maybe she has a point. Maybe I am lifelong depressed. And, you got to manage your symptoms 24/7. You got to manage your symptoms every single day. Probably the only time you don't have to manage them is when you're sleeping. That's probably the only time you really don't have to manage them. That's probably the only time you don't have to manage them when you're sleeping. And but you got to manage your symptoms 24/7. You got to manage not only that, you have to manage your symptoms at work. You got to manage them at home. You got to manage them when you're out with friends. You got to manage them when you're showering. when you're brushing your teeth. And when you spend all your energy managing your symptoms, then all of a sudden you don't have energy to brush your teeth. You don't have energy to take a shower. You don't have energy to go to work. You don't have energy to go out with friends. And any energy that you have left over, you gotta kind of pick and choose where you want to give that energy to. Do you want to give that energy to taking a shower? Do you want to give that energy to brushing your teeth? Do you want to give that energy to seeing your friends? So you pick and choose where you want to give that energy to. And then if you can't figure out where you want to direct this little bit of energy that you have left over from fighting your depressive symptoms, you just say, hey, I'm not going to give my energy to neither of these. I'm just going to give the energy I have left to my bed. And just go, hold to sleep. And when you're depressed, brushing your teeth, picking up a toothbrush, it's like picking up a heavy rock. When you're depressed and taking a shower, the water feels thick and heavy. Getting out of bed, getting out of bed despite sleeping 8 to 10 hours, you feel exhausted. It is just pure hell. Depression is just pure hell. It's just pure hell. And that's probably one of the reasons why that that's the reason why that I had to stop for a second, is because talking to you right now, I am very depressed right now. And that's one of the reasons why I had to stop and then come back to you all, because I could feel it coming. This is what it feels like. This is what depression feels like. And so yeah. Depression's hell, man. It is just pure hell. And I'm gonna be okay. Just not right now. So yeah. All right. That's it. That's it for the Sean Farrell podcast. I am out of here. Peace out. God bless you all.